I always think to myself, to run longer and run faster, you have to run slower. Oh man, late start to the day, but it's time to get out on the run. Let's take a sip of tea. Let's get this shakeout done, baby. Let's go. New runners always have the same question. How do I run longer? I can only run 10 minutes and I fall over exhausted at the end of the run. Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with my 5 easy tips on how to run longer without getting tired. Let's start off with the main tip. Consistency. I've been training for about 5 years now, but running full time for about 3 years now. So throughout this time, I've learned what works best for being able to run longer without getting tired. And consistency is the main key. Training over years and years and years consistently by running every day almost. I take days off and training with purpose daily. Consistently working towards my fitness and not pushing myself to the point of breaking. So I always think to myself, to run longer and run faster, you have to run slower. And running slow doesn't always mean running junk miles, because junk miles don't exist. Every single type of run is important. Every run increases your fitness, no matter if it's 1 minute or 2 hours or 3 hours, or even an ultra marathon. I'm not saying you should run an ultra, but I'm just saying every run is important in creating your fitness to be stronger and be able to run longer. And yeah, just consistency is key. I'll put on screen my last 5 weeks of training, and that includes a rest week that I took at the end of my year block of consistent training in the last year. This week I ran almost 9 hours, 116 kilometers. The week before, almost 9 hours, 113 kilometers. The week before, 8.5 hours, 110 kilometers. The week before, 7.5, 95 kilometers, and then the week before was my week off, so I only ran 10 kilometers. That was spread out over the week just to keep me in the motions of running, because every runner should take a break eventually in their year, just so they don't get injured. Second, training variation. You should not always just run slow. To run fast and longer, you also need to run fast too. So you need to do hills. I love hills. They're one of my favorite training types. You run them slow, you run them fast, you can do it so many different ways. I just love the burn of it. It makes me feel like if I can do 2 kilometers of hills in a week, then I can do 25 kilometers of running in one day easily, because vertical gain is hard on the body, but makes your aerobic system just pump, pump, pump. You might feel a little bit of lactic or burn on the run. So yeah, change up your variation in training. Speed. I love personally, when I started running, I didn't have a coach, so I would use the Nike Run Club app, and it had these awesome guided runs by Coach Bennett where you'd do little fartleks, like 1 minute on, 1 minute off, or you do 300 meters hard, run 1 kilometer easy, and you just change it up. It gets your body used to different paces and different feelings, so then you can last longer. There's even runs on Nike Run Club that are 5 minutes long, just so you can get it in for the day. A run is a run, and fitness will build no matter how much you're running. And obviously, to run longer, you need to run longer. That's part of training variation. So I would say every couple weeks, just go out there and run 5 minutes longer than you ran on your last long run. Just try it out. But don't go crazy, and do that for a couple weeks on your long runs. And then bump it up a little bit. Then do it again for another couple weeks, and then bump it up again. As a runner, I've learned that these little tiny slow improvements to your training long term build up to be so much more than you really think they are. To be a great runner, you need to do the little things over a huge period of time. I didn't just show up 5 years ago running and run 95 minutes. It's impossible. I would have injured myself. Or I would have had to go very, very slow. Next, I want to talk about being smart in your training. Don't go out and run every single day if you're not used to that. Be smart, and if you have a coach, listen to them. They know what's best for you. But if you don't have a coach, like I said, Nike Run Club, it even has a training plan for any type of runner who's run any type of amount of distance ever. And it'll build a plan with strength training and recovery days and speed days. And it'll just get you set up with a coach who will keep track of you and make sure you're not overextending yourself. Because running, it takes a lot of energy, but it also takes a lot of holding yourself back and making sure you're not getting injured or sore. Because if you can't run, then you're not going to be able to run longer, obviously. And lastly, I want to talk about proper recovery. Every runner needs to be recovered to be able to run again. I can't just go out and run 25 kilometers and then the next day do it all over again if I don't use anything to recover. So you want to be properly fueled. You want to get at least 8 hours of sleep. At least. Unless you're like a single parent with a kid screaming at night, you should be getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night if you want to be able to run longer and stay fit. And you also want to be using things like Theraguns or a muscle stick or a foam roller, and you want to be rolling out. It's not that hard. It makes your body strong, and you'll just be so much better the next day. And you won't be sore. And it'll be awesome. I swear to you. Foam roll once, and you won't regret it. It might hurt for the first couple times, but then you'll enjoy that feeling of knowing that your body's stretching out and blood's flowing and getting everything prepped for your next run. I think that's all I have for today, you guys. But just remember, keep running, and I'll see you on the next run.